Today I would like to speak to you about how Zensar's i2 Xleration product can address many application-related challenges in your VMware environment. These include poor performance, low VM to host ratios, and how to gain storage performance improvements without having to purchase a new storage environment. Zensar's i2 Xleration software addresses the storage I/O problem for your VMware environment, and it works with any SAN-based storage appliance. It is also VMware approved and takes approximately 10 minutes to install. Once installed, the software operates as a driver with no tuning or tweaking needed to achieve consistent, optimal performance. Here are some before and after performance charts. The graph on the left shows the transactions performance with and without i2 Xleration, while the graph on the right shows how the read and write latency times are drastically improved after installing the i2 Xleration product. Now here's a demo of i2 Xleration in action. Here is the Zensar i2 Xleration Web GUI management screen. Below there is ESX Top running. This is connected to a single host for demonstration purposes. Currently, caching with i2 is stopped. To start caching, we would simply click the Start Caching button. I brought up the VM guest. We'll use this to help simulate load on the SAN. The VM guest is running IO meter as the workload simulator. The VMDK we are reading is from an iSCSI SAN with 2 pathways. We're running 16 workers with 16 streams each. In this panel, we will be able to see IO stats once the workers are started. Here we are setting the access specifications for the threads. Let's look at the profile settings by editing it. Here are the access specs: 100%, 100% read, and 100% random. Here we'll kick off the workers load. 16 workers each with 16 streams. That's 256 streams. The SAN can only handle 128, so that is way overloaded. The servers are older models with dual Xeon processors. They have plenty of RAM. The array controller can only handle 32 streams. Newer controllers can handle much more. Okay, the jobs have started, and we can see I/O getting past an IO meter. Below in ESX Top, we can see the traffic building on the SAN controller. The queue depth, percent used, and streams are all on the rise. Disk average and kernel average are also on the rise. These are the general numbers for disk average. You're in good shape if you are less than 10 milliseconds. 10 to 20 milliseconds is still okay. Larger than 20 milliseconds, you might start to see some performance degradation, but things will still be working. Anything over 30 and you will start to see applications slow down. We can see kernel average is getting high. This should be close to 0. Disk average is also raising over 30, and latency is starting to affect performance. Let's check with IO meter. IO is about 1000, transfer is at about 4.8. Now let's turn on i2 Xleration and enable caching. Okay, caching has started. This is the caching drive, a Samsung 500GB SSD. This is the back-end iSCSI SAN that we are caching. This tab is the stats page. It will show the cache hit rate, or percentage of data being accessed from the SSD cache drive. We'll choose the SAN drive to show its cache hit rate. We see the SAN take a bit of a hit as the read cache builds. This only happens when the cache drive is initially loading up. We're pushing a lot more data than the SAN can handle from IO meter. The cache is building and we are starting to show hits. Still ramping. For a 500 gig SSD disk, it usually takes under a minute to get 100% cache hit. For the purpose of the demo, we'll speed things up a bit. ESX Top is counting away. The Quest streams are still up a bit. Just about 100% hit rate. In ESX Top, we can see the latency of disk average and kernel average coming down, way down. Hit rate is 94%. The SSD is caching well. Let's check the status counters with cache. Here's the cache hit count, 94%. Let's check back with IO meter. IO is on the rise, up to 3000, and megabytes is up to 15. The SAN is showing some latency here. It's highly overdriven. Cache hit up to 97. Status counter shows 97 as well. 0 read errors. The disk, kernel, and general averages are down to about 0 on the SAN. So as you have seen, Zensar's i2 Xleration product can greatly improve storage performance for your VMware environment. Learn more about i2 Xleration, get started with a free 30-day trial, and discover Zensar's full portfolio of services at zensar.com.